Details are emerging of the increasingly desperate situation on board an Air India Boeing 777-300 on a flight between between New Delhi and New York last week. There were 370 passengers on board when the pilots had multiple systems failures in the cockpit. They were also low on fuel, having flown non-stop for more than 15 hours. What's more, the weather in the area was bad and the jet was unable to land at JFK Airport, New York. I have the actual details of the pilots talking to air traffic control, which shows the gravity of the situation. Fortunately, the flight landed safely in Newark despite the emergency on board. At one stage of the flight, the pilot tells air traffic control, "We are really, stuck and there is no fuel." Later on, the pilot tells air traffic control, basically, we've got a single source radio altimeter. We have a terrain collision and avoidance system failure. He then goes on to say there is no auto land, no wind shear systems, no auto speed brake, and the auxiliary power unit is unserviceable as well. In simple terms, this indicates that a great deal of the basic instrumentation and systems on board the cockpit of the aircraft, which would enable the pilots to carry out a safe landing, would not be available, and therefore the pilot would, in poor fuel conditions and adverse weather conditions, be forced to fly a massive jet manually, and it would be necessarily a big challenge. Later on, the pilot tells the air traffic control, this instrument landing system is unpredictable. The instrument landing system is the key system which enables a pilot to align a jet with the runway. To which the air traffic control tells the pilot, "And you said your radio altimeters are out on both sides of the airplane?" By both sides of the airplane, air traffic control is referring to both the systems, because there is a backup system, and in this case, all two of them, in fact there are three of them, possibly all three, were inoperational. The pilot responds, "That's right, we are on a single radio altimeter now." So those are just a handful of details. That in fact is the cockpit of a Boeing 777-300. Fortunately, despite a low altitude alert which was called by air traffic control, the Boeing 777 landed safely in Newark earlier on this month, on the 11th in fact of September.